I have PPT.
Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am. Just press F5 or just have full screen.
F5. Is this full screen now?
No, maybe you can just click on the full screen option, or a slideshow will be there. Slideshow. In this only you have to.
नुसतं डेस्कटॉप वरती ओपन करून ठेवलं तरी चालतं.
इथं नाही होत तसं.
You click on the view, ma'am. Please click on the view.
View. Okay.
View and then full screen.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So when you can just start in that way. Let me just.
Yeah, but now you can see the screen, no? Or you?
Yes.
I have to stop. I have to stop sharing the screen.
You can just start in that way.
Sure. Okay.
So welcome all again. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are again live and we are thankful to Bohiko Bombay Ham Company for enabling us to perform this session live with one of the most experienced and learned practitioner, Dr. Kalpana, with us right now. And we will be continuing. I think most of you have joined the last session and we discussed several aspects as far as cannabis and Ayurveda Vidya it is known as. And we will be continuing with the presentation today. Dr. Kalpana, as we all know, is MD Ayurveda. She is an Ayurveda consultant. Um, you can maybe check your internet connection. I think volume is fine. So you can just check the internet connection if you are not able to hear. She is an Ayurvedic consultant, medical research center, Kasturiba Health Society. She is the director of Amber Kerala Ayurveda Panchkarma Center. And we also have Jahan with us today. He is the co-founder and director of Bombay Hem Company, one of the largest medical cannabis company in this country. Quickly, I would like to hear a few introductory aspects from you, Jahan. And accordingly, then we will start the session with Dr. Kalpana. And I request Dr. Kalpana, you can maybe click on the PPT your slide so that we can start after the session. Jahan, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Piyush. I think first of all, I think the most interesting aspect I'd like to start with today is one of the learnings we have had in the last year. Ki India is not the only country jahan pe bhang or vijaya or cannabis has had an ancient medical use. There are other Asian countries, jaise China, jaise Thailand, where today the leaf and the seed are being used in TCM, that is Thai traditional Chinese medicine, as well as TTM, which is Thai traditional medicine, where wahan pe the governments have been supporting for the last few years. There is a lot of research happening where I had recently read a very interesting article ki they have begun clinical trials in Thailand using the leaf formulations in Thai traditional usage, and they have started seeing some great results on cancer patients, MS patients, patients with neuropathic conditions in some of their government and public hospitals. And that is something that is one very interesting part of how important cannabis and Vijaya is as a plant. Jahan pe, as I'm sure Dr. Kalpana will take us through how it has such a long and strong history with with Indian culture and through Ayurveda, and how important that type of understanding and knowledge will be to doctors who are listening in through the thousands in of doctors in India Vaidya's network to give them more understanding and insight on how cannabis in Vijaya can be used, how it has been used for the last few centuries as well.
Thank you so much, Jahan, and we will be definitely having certain queries for you. We got in the last session as well, so please be with us. And quickly, I request Dr. Kalpana to start the session today. And thank you so much again, and Dr. Kalpana. We know that you are a very senior clinician, and still you are able to pull some time for us today. So let's hear from you for today's session. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Piyush. Thank you, Jahan. So today we will see what is Vijaya. In fact, I remember that we have this subject as Dravya Guna Vidyan in second year of our syllabus. At that time, we had one Vijaya plant in Poddar, but it was not because there earlier also there are some legal issues, and all the time it has been into controversy. It was not studied that well. But the thing is that Vijaya definitely has got a long standing, and let us see what it says, what Ayurveda says about it. So, this is the Vijaya plant. Earlier, I think Jahan might have introduced to you about the uses of hemp. Besides the medicinal use, it is also used as a fuel, it is used in food, it is used in paper, it is used for even textiles and animal beddings. So there are a lot of uses of hemp, which I think earlier might have been introduced by Jahan. Now, this Vijaya plant can grow up to 18 feet also, and it is male plant and female plants are different. Okay. So it's an erect, aromatic, resinous annual herb with an angular stem 1.2 to 4.8 meters long. The female plant is usually taller than male plant. The leaves are alternate, stalked, palmately compound leaves, and leaflets vary in the size 3 to 10 centimeters. They are coarsely toothed. Flowers are unisexual, small green in color. Fruits is 4 millimeter long, granular, hairy. Seeds, achenes, and flowering and fruiting is usually from June to September. So this is usually a plant which is there, which is uh, this is there. Only the thing is now there is a difference between bhang, ganja, and charas. This is very important. Bhang is the tender branch which is having the leaves and seeds, whereas ganja is a female cluster flower containing resin. Resin is important, which is in ganja, whereas charas is a substance which is resembling the resin. It is derived from the complete cluster, which is whitish in color. So these three, there is a difference between the bhang, ganja, and charas. Now there are different synonyms of Vijaya. There is one is bhanga. Bhanga is bhajyate anaya kafadihi tikshnatvat. Bhanjo amardane. It is tikshna, and because it is tikshna, it reduces or alleviates kapha. Okay, so that is it is भज्यते अनया कफादिही तीक्ष्णत्वात् भंजो आमर्दने. आमर्दने यानी कट जाता है. क्या कट जाता है? कफ नष्ट हो जाता है. गंजा गंजते अनया अस्याह मादकत्वात्. गजी शब्दे यानी मादक होने के कारण इसके सेवन से मनुष्य खूब बक 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 करता है. द पर्सन स्टार्ट्स स्पीकिंग मोर, टॉकिंग मोर. ओके. मातुलानी, मातुलस्य धतुरस्य स्त्री इव मादुकत्वात्. यह मादक है, तो मादक होने से इसका नाम मातुलानी करके है. विजया, वाई विजया, विजयते कफम इति. यह कफ के ऊपर विजय प्राप्त करता है, इसीलिए विजया. Jaya is also another synonym. Now here we will come that it has been mentioned in many Nighantus. It is mentioned in Shodhala Nighantu, it is mentioned in Bhav Prakash, it is mentioned in Sharanthar Sanhita, it is mentioned in Kayyadeva Nighantu. So Bhanga has been mentioned in so many Nighantus because definitely it was used in earlier days in many diseases. Okay. So what is it? Bhanga kafahari tikta, grahini pachani laghu, तीक्ष्णोष्णा पित्तला मोह मद वाक वह्नि vivardhani. Bhanga is how it is kafahara, which we saw earlier. Tikta, it is a tikta ras which is there, so it is pungent. It is tikta. It is bitter to taste. Okay. Grahini, grahini means it will uh, definitely it is used therefore in diarrhea also. There is a grahitva. It will have a grahi guna by which it will try to reduce the diarrhea and other conditions. It is used for that. It is constructing, you can say. Pachani is, it is good for metabolism. It helps in metabolism. Okay. Laghu is light. It is easy to digest. Tikshnoshna, the guna is tikshna as well as ushna. Therefore, it is kafahara. Then pittala, but bhanga causes increases pitta. So it is very, you have to be very cautious when you are giving it to pitta prakriti people. Okay. Then it is moha mada vag vandhi vivardhani. It increases appetite. Vandhi vardhini. It increases digestive fire. Okay. And it also causes moha and mada. So brungi tu deepani rucha. Rucha means it increases your taste. Grahini pachani laghu nidra pitta pradoshnam. It is nidrakar. It helps in inducing sleep. Kamada kafa vatajit. It is vatahar also. So it is kafahar, it is vatahar, but it is pitta vardhak. This is what Shodhal Nigantu says. Okay. So bhanga bhanga kari matehe rati patetya daram karini प्रौढ़त्वान्न समासम ईशु विभव प्रद्योत्तर संगमे तीक्ष्णोष्णा मद मोह पित्त शमनी वाग्वर्धिनी ग्राहिणी तिक्ता श्लेष्महरा लघुश्च कथिता संदीपनी पाचनी. So it has laghu tikshna guna. It is also vyavai. Its rasa is tikta, vipaka is katu, virya is ushna, and prabhav is madakari. So what is it doing? It is actually vata kafahara and pitta vardhak. If it is used externally, it also causes sveda janana and it is vedana sthapana. Then it has karmas as madhaka, nidrajanana, akshepaka, deepana, pachana, rochana, grahi, pitta saraka, udara shula prashamana. Okay. And it is also hrudayottejaka at stage of madhyata. It is also shonita sthapana. Which are the parts which are which are parts of the prayojyanga jise bolte hain? Which parts are used? The bhanga patra leaves are used, seeds are used, and panchanga is also used. Dosage is usually 125 to 250 milligrams of bhang. Ganja and charas are usually not used in medical preparations. There are many preparations like Jati Faladi Churna, Madana Modak, etc. So there are total 210 formulations where you can find Vijaya in Ayurveda. Out of which 193 formulations are used for internal administration, whereas 17 formulations are used for external application. Okay. So now this bhanga, usually whatever the formulations are, there is a concept of anupan in Ayurveda. Anupan is a vehicle which enhances the properties of the medicine and it also reduces the undesired effects of the medicine. So usually bhanga is given along with either dugdha, bhanga preparations I'm saying, are used along with dugdha or maybe honey, sometimes honey and sharkara, sometimes dugdha and sharkara, sometimes kanji and also ghee. Okay. So which are the dosage forms in which we find bhanga? There is rasa, there is avaleha, there is a kvath, there is guti, which is there, vati, then arka, taila preparations are there, lepas are there, dhoop is also there, dhoopan it is also used, and this is particularly it is soluble in water, milk, and ghee. There are different diseases range of diseases where we'll find the application of bhanga. It has been mentioned Jwaragna, it has been mentioned in Grahani, it is also used in Vatavyadhi. There are preparations which are used in Rajayakshma, that is tuberculosis. It is used in many preparations of uh, Vajikarana. It is also used in many preparations for gynec disorders like PCOS. It is also used in many conditions like osteoarthritis. It is also used in dermatology like eczema. So there are a lot of range of diseases where it has been used. Matra they have mentioned as ek ratti, which is 125 milligrams, ranging from that to one masha, which is 4 grams, or till one tola also they have used it in preparations, which is 12 grams. Aushadhi Sevana Kal, there are 11 Bhaishajya Kalas which have been mentioned in Ayurveda. Out of which, it can be used in some of the formulations can be used in mornings or maybe in the evenings. Some of the formulations are used only in the evenings, with the formulations which are having a nidrajanana property are used only in the evenings. Usually they are used 2 hours, some of them are used 2 hours after meals, some of them are used before meals also. So these are the Aushadhi Sevana Kala. Which is the karma, which is the action? It is balya. Balya means it gives the nutrition, it enhances the nutrition. The rasayana, we all know it has adaptogenic properties. Vajikarana, it is used in many disorders where there is a sexual dysfunction. Then it is deepana, that it increases appetite. Then it is grahi, it is vrishya, shukrala. Vrishya and shukrala, there is a difference that vrishya is actually enhancing the sexual activity and sexual dysfunction. It is used, and shukrala is there is a reproductive. There is some problem in reproductive uh, disorders like azoospermia, not exactly azoospermia or oligozoospermia. There is some problem with the shukra. At that time, it is used. Bruhana, it increases the muscle strength. Okay, Kantida, it improves the complexion. It is Stambhana, it is Ayura Vardhana, it improves the quality of life and it increases the life, longevity, you can say. Medhya, which is increasing the memory. Dhi, Dhruti, Smriti, everything. Medha means Dhi, Dhruti, and Smriti. So it is increasing memory, it is also increasing the grasping power. Okay. So this is the action on the brain. Shulahara, it is analgesic. Nidrajanana, it induces sleep early and it also gives a sound sleep. Both the things. Okay. Jwaragna, then Jwaragna it is actually used in fever. Uttejaka, Varnya is improves complication. Pushtihara, it improves the muscle strength and it also gives the strength to all the tissues. Kesha, it is used in hair fall also. Ojo Vardhaka, it is Rucha, enhances the taste. Pachana enhances the metabolism. Mana Vinodakari, this is something which is, something different. It is used to enhance the mood. That is Mana Vinodakari. Madakari, Buddhi Vardhaka, Shukra Stambhana. It is Shukra Stambhana, so it is used, many of its preparations are used in premature ejaculation. It is Shukra Doshahara also. If there is any problem with the semen, also it is used. Medohara, it reduces the meda, okay, that is obesity. Then it is Sveda Janana also. It is Mrityu Hara. It means that it increases the longevity. It is Sthira. It is also used in eye disorders. It is Netriya. So what are it is used externally and where it is used externally? It is ground paste is used as an analgesic. It is also used in piles. The fumigation is given in piles. Okay. Then the ash of bhang is used in prolapsed rectum. The leaf juice kills external worms. So it is used in central nervous system. Main action is on brain. So also it is Shulahara. So it is used in headaches, migraine, insomnia. It is digestive. It is appetizer, digestant, astringent, cholagogue. It is used in diarrhea, grahani, pain in abdomen. In circulatory system, it increases pulse rate initially and then it slows down. Respiratory system, it reduces spasm of respiratory muscles, so used in asthma and whooping cough. In urinary system, it promotes urination, alleviates pain in kidneys, and used in anorexia. Reproductive system, it is used in impotency as well as premature ejaculation. It is skin, also it is analgesic effect, it also improves the complexion. It is Vyavahi and Vikasi. This is very important guna of Vijaya. So Vyavahi is, what is Vyavahi? Vyavahi is it quickly spreads in the body without digesting. Okay. So it is, see, Vyavahi purvam vyapyam akhilam kayam tatah pakam च गच्छति. व्यवायी तथा भंगा फेनम ahifen ahisamudbhavam. Ahisamudra, ahi means ahifen. So what is it? It spreads into body. Purvam vyakyam akhilam kayam. The whole body it spreads. Pakam tatap pakam cha gacchati. After which it gets digested. It doesn't get, without digestion itself, it starts its work or its action immediately. Okay, that is there. Okay, but vikasi is santi bandaha tu shithilani karoti vikasi tat. So after this is after digestion effect which gives is vikasi dravya, but this bhanga is vyavai. So it is quickly spreading in the body without digesting. This is what is the action which it gives. Okay. Now it is Bhanga is usually a beautiful concept of Ayurveda is Shodhana. It is purified with Godugdha and then dried, air dried also. It is also then fried in Ghrita. So all these samskaras of milk, that is cow's milk as well as cow's ghee, are actually reducing the undesired effects of bhanga, and therefore it can be later used in the medicinal purpose. Okay. So in short, bhanga is pain reliever. It induces sleep. It has soothing influence in nervous disorders. It is used in Atisara with Udambar Kshir. Okay. It is also used for Yoni Sankoch. Okay. And it is also used in Kushta, that is many skin disorders. It is also used in osteoarthritis and many other diseases as mentioned earlier. So if you have any queries, you can share or you can start now. Over to you, Dr. Piyush and Mr. Jahan.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kalpana, for again. I think this is one of the unique session we had today, and first time the entire aspects have been compiled as far as Ayurveda reference of Vijaya is concerned, and we got several questions and several queries which we'll be discussing one by one. And I request all the doctors right now who are watching us live, as far as Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and our website, that is indianvedyas.com/webinar, is concerned. You can share your queries as well. We have received certain queries with us. We'll be taking that one by one. Meanwhile, Jahan, let's understand from your perspective as well, as we have already worked with several Ayurveda doctors and several Ayurveda clinicians. What exactly you people have experiences, as Dr. Kalpana mentioned, certain aspects today, and maybe any other additional aspect you want to add on to this entire session. And as we have learned and understood from you that you people have an exhaustive experience, so you must be getting some feedbacks, some case studies or experiences these doctors are having, including Dr. Kalpana. So maybe you can take it forward, and then we will start discussing the questions which we are receiving.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Piyush, and thank you so much, Dr. Kalpana, for such an exhaustive and extensive understanding of Vijaya's history with Ayurveda. I think, Dr. Piyush, what is very interesting about what Dr. Kalpana has also shared is our Bohiko research team has spent the last 7 years understanding and looking into research from almost 115 plus global clinical trials, clinical studies, and case reports. जहाँ पे they have used cannabis in some form or the other. Some places they have used THC and CBD, that is 1:1. Some places they've used pure THC, some places they've used pure CBD. What is amazing about what Dr. Kalpana has said is almost every single action, whether Deepana, whether Panchana, whether Vyavahi, whether about boosting metabolism, stimulating appetite, about his analgesic effect, about his sexual wellness disorder, these have references in studies as far back as 1975 and 1994 from papers from the likes of Noyes and Wallace. There are international scientists like Bergamashi in 2011 who have also spoken about similar case events that they've done, not just anecdotal reference, but double blind, randomized clinical trials where they have come to the same conclusion. So I think that is the huge bonus that Ayurveda has brought. That 2000 years of knowledge and history is only now being proven by modern science. And what we as a Bombay hemp company is doing, as Kalpana ma'am had spoken about, कि ऐसे वटी ऐसे चूर्ण में approximately अगर आप भांगा यूज करते हो तो 125 mg या 25 mg भांगा होता है. हमने ऐसा रियलाइज किया था ड्यूरिंग द जर्नी कि when we use the leaf powder as compared to if we process the powder and process the leaf to make a oil or extract, उसमें जो the concentration becomes so stronger in such a way कि जो actions Dr. Kalpana has spoken that happen with using Vijaya Bhanga actually happen in a lot more quicker fashion because of the fact that all of the actions, whether Deepana, Panchana, Shula, every single action ma'am has mentioned comes down to two major chemicals along with a few other chemicals in the flower, in the leaf of the in the bhanga. One is THC, that is good for appetite, good for analgesic pain, good for mood, very good for sleep. And one is CBD, which is very good for stress, very good for anxiety, very good for inflammation. So when these two combine together, they create something in science they call the entourage effect. And the entourage effect is the major reason why all of these actions or karma, as Dr. Kalpana has said, have come about. What we realized is where Ayurveda now goes from here is partnering us doctors, us industry with doctors and formulation experts, जहाँ की अगर पहले वो 25 mg या 100 mg भंगा लीफ का extract concentration होता, our goal is to take that concentration higher ताकि there is more validation of these actions and karma that happen within Ayurveda as well.
Right, correct. And I think this is the right way to take it forward in terms of evolving. So, Dr. Kalpana, quickly, we have a couple of questions right now for you. One is, as we understand as a clinician, and maybe there are some confusions as well. So, what happens is right now, on one side, we have seen there are classical references, and there is a mention of cannabis and Vijaya in Ayurveda. On the other side, the dosage right now predominantly, and in fact, I have personally also seen in my patients, we have seen lots of patients till now, and we got this feedback from other patients also. Those we are using several other dosage forms that in form of oil or tincture, and when they are sublingually taking is quite effective in terms of other dosage forms are concerned. However, other dosage forms are also there, and these are also effective. So the question is from Dr. Shivika, like Ayurveda dosage form of Vijaya. So what we can understand as per the Ayurveda reference, what kind of dosage forms are mentioned? We know that there are a couple of vati or modak that is mentioned in that. So what do you suggest, and what do you like? What is your guidance on this particular aspect?
Uh, you mean to say dosage forms, no?
So the question is, what kind of dosage forms are mentioned as far as Ayurveda is concerned?
Yeah,
And
yeah, I have.
now, as we are using CBD oil also extensively, how we can correlate that to our Ayurveda references?
Yeah. See, there are different dosage forms which have been used in Ayurveda, like guti, vati, and arka. It is grahani kapata rasa, then jati faladi churna, then you have vijaya ghrita. So there are different dosage forms which have been used. Important is what I have seen is that it is used most of the times. It is used along with the milk or ghee also. So the media which is there, which is actually a lipid soluble. So therefore, when we are using it in the media of taila, definitely it helps more, because what is there is that it already has vyavayi guna. So it is not, see, otherwise if you take anything with taila, it is going getting digested and then it is going to act, then definitely it would have taken a longer time. But because of the vyavayi guna which bhanga has, it spreads immediately and action starts immediately. So that is the reason which is usually I have seen that it is used when the media is used as a oil, then of course uh, it is more effective. But then there are many other dosage forms also, like Quath is also used. There is Vijaya Churna which has been used. There is Jati Faladi Gutika which is there. Jati Paladi Churna which has been used. Krumi Kuthar Ras, one form of Krumi Kuthar Ras has got Vijaya in it. Okay. Then there is also Gruta, Vijayadi Gruta, which has been used. Grahani Kapat Ras is something which is there. Then Nidra Karavati is also there, which is induces sleep. So almost all the dosage forms which have been used in Ayurveda. Okay, but the
Right,
thing is that oil is definitely more effective.
right. And
Okay.
yeah, right. Thanks. And second question is regarding the PCOD. Like, is it really helpful in PCOD? And if yes, in what
Hmm.
ways maybe you can correlate and explain that how we can understand that CBD oil and other like medical cannabis preparations are helpful in PCOD?
Okay. Uh, it is helpful in PCOD, definitely. Now, if we see its guna, okay, let us, according to always what I have always practiced is according to Ayurvedic fundamentals. We should not leave those fundamentals anywhere, okay. Now, here what is there in PCOD, if we see, uh, there are lot of, it is a syndrome. So it is a syndrome means there are a lot of symptoms which are there together, okay. It is a kind of, therefore it is acting in on many systems together. According to Ayurveda, it is the Vyadhi of Rasavaha and Raktavaha Srutas also, and also there is a Medovaha Srutas which is involved. So it is all together which is there. Okay, the configuration, if we see Vata and Kapha dosh are main which are involved in Samprapti of PCOD. So here Vijaya is Vatahar and Kafahar. It is Ushna, it is Tikshna. Okay, so it is going to do a Chedana kind of karma, which is also required in PCOD. Now here what is there is, and also Lekhan. Now PCOD, if we see that there is a lot of PCOD patients have got a metabolism problem. Okay, it is related with the metabolism. It is also related with the metabolism. And Vijaya is having a Tipana and Pachana action also. It is actually correcting the metabolism is very important. First thing, if I start PCOD patients, is first thing is correct the metabolism. Correct the metabolism, then you give Shodhana Karma also, like Vamana and Virejan. Now here, of course, we are going to, when we are giving Vamana, we can use different other herbs also, that is there. But then once that is there, Shodhan is done, again Bhanga is helpful because it is having Vatahara and Kapahara guna also. Now, the problem is that it is a Pitta Vardhak. If you have a Pitta Prakriti person who is having PCOD, then how are you going to deal with that? That is the actually challenge. Now the thing is that when such a kind of person is there who is already Pitta Prakriti person and she is having a PCOD problem, then at that time this concept of vehicle is important. we will use the I what I do is I use the combination of pitta shamaka dravyas along with the this bhanga. So what happens is that this together will act, and therefore there will not be a pitta vardhan action which is there, or it will not cause any other undesired effect. Okay. And also very important is it has got a shulahara action also, because what is there is again yatra yatra shulam tatra tatra vatah. So it is vatahar, it is shulahar also. So it is helping in PCOD, any kind of pain which is there, before menstruation, before periods. The female is getting pain at that time also, analgesic effect also it is giving. So these are some of the things which I have observed in PCOD patients. But usually I give shodhan also along with this. It is not just the preparation.
Right. And there is one more aspect and one more indication in which we have seen. In fact, I have read this question, and I today only I have got this one case as well. So let's have some more insight from you, Dr. Kalpana, and Dr. A.K. Gupta. He's asking this question that as far as the autism and hyperactivity disorders like ADHD in teenagers are concerned, and sometime it is not manageable. Like today also I can let me share one case that I received today. So the mother is very much like disturbed from last several years. She is facing, I think it started from last 10 years now, and she is now facing certain issues. She have exhausted all the therapies, but nothing is helping her child, and he is very hyperactive, and autism is there, and sleep issues are there. Violence in the nature is also there, and sometimes there are seizures as far as epileptic seizures are concerned. So the entire portfolio is there. So now, what you suggest, how and what to use as far as medical cannabis is concerned, and what can be the like line of treatment or the roadmap for these kind of cases, as per your experience?
Yeah. Autism is a challenge. Autism patients are really a challenge. Okay, hyperactivity disorders and autism, both the things are challenge. Now, here, what is there is, if we see a line of treatment, it is not just the oral medicine. There are many aspects when we treat such kind of patients. Okay, it has to be with the parents also, and the treatment has to be with the patient also. Okay, it is actually we are treating the parents also. Now here definitely medical cannabis is definitely used the oil which is helpful internally also and externally also. See, in such kind of patients, we will find, again, I can say that there is a vata aggravation. Okay. So we have to use externally also snehana. The patient has to be given snehana. It can be given a nabhi purana. The oil can be given for, nabhi purana, also nasya. So this is the one of the line of treatment, as well as lot of counseling is also important, of course, along with this. But uh, the oil which is there, medical cannabis oil or Vijaya oil can be helpful, and also Vijaya the Kruta can be helpful. We have not, I think, Jahan, you don't have a gruta, but then I think we gruta, it is used along with the gruta. Definitely, it is going to help more. Okay, and external snehan is also important. Now, when autism patients are concerned, there is one more thing which is, as I said, that which has been mentioned in Ayurveda also, that we have to take care of the uh, psychology of the parents also. So along with that, lot of counseling is required, and lot of other activities which can be given to the child are also very important. Okay, so this is how we can deal with autism or hyperactivity disorder. Snehan externally also is very important. How much ever you can just डुबोगे रखो oil में तो भी चलेगा इतना, that much स्नेहन I have given some patients, that is there, but it does help, it does help.
I think, I, of course, not from a doctor perspective, Dr. Piyush and Dr. Kalpana, just to add on to what Dr. Kalpana had suggested. Through our readings, we've actually come out with there is some substantial global research and literature regarding CBD's efficacy with respect to autism in children. I believe it is a paper by Aran in 2018. It was a retrospective feasibility study where up to 10 mg per kg per day of CBD was provided, where they saw that there was up to 61% positive change in behavior outbreaks through the caregiver global impression of change scale, and anxiety and communication problems were very much improved in about 39 to 40% of the children, and disruptive behaviors were improved by about 29% using sort of qualitative metrics like home situation questionnaires for autism spectrum disorder. And I think most importantly, as Kalpana ma'am highlighted, where in keeping in mind the autism parenting stress index, there was actually a 33% less stress directed towards the parents of the autistic patients as well. So I think a lot of the Ayurvedic actions and validations that Kalpana ma'am has provided have also similarly occurred in global feasibility and global studies, clinical studies, in understanding the efficacy of CBD and such oils and products on
And
children with
Jahan,
autism as well.
this study which you have mentioned is done on full spectrum or broad spectrum?
From our understanding, it was done on a CBD isolate, or it had been done on a broad spectrum where there was small, very minor traces of THC, which were almost insignificant. And that's where it's important that when it's full spectrum, it's 1:1. It would be important that if it was, say, 10 mg per kg a day in a isolate or a broad spectrum, that is a non-THC based product, then you would have to start off at, say, about 50% of that dosage. That's about 5 mg per kg a day when it's full spectrum, so that you could be able to titrate upwards and assess how behavior and mood changes along the way as well.
Absolutely. I think dosage is very, very important. And in fact, we should arrange one specific session. We are getting this query and this request from several doctors. So there will be one dedicated session for the dosage calculation. And let's have maybe Dr. Kalpana and other clinicians also. I can share my experience as well. So let's have one session maybe in January whenever possible, specifically related to dosage calculation, because that is very, very important. And I have seen many doctors are still confused and having certain queries in terms of dosage calculation is concerned. Dr. Kalpana, quick,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Dr. Piyush, also just to share with you, one thing from Bohiko's side, we understand the importance of educating, creating awareness in doctors. We are also finalizing dosing guides at our end after extensive research, which we will, of course, share with the Indian Vaidya partner doctor community and, of course, other partner doctors along the way to help assist in dosing and assessing how that may be mapped according to indication areas as well.
Great, great. And also, let's maybe have one more question, and then I will have one question for you as well, Jahan. So quickly, Dr. Kalpana, there is one question from Dr. Rajneesh Sharma as far as MND is concerned. I think he may be having one case. So there is a patient around 74 and suffering from MND. So he's asking specifically, maybe is there any experience you have as far as CBD, cannabis, or Vijay is concerned?
Uh, yeah, actually, currently I am having one patient which who is already there on it, but just he has come last week. So we have started the treatment, but according to me, what it is helpful in MND also, because I have started this again, coming to the fundamental of Ayurveda, depending on that only, because it is a Vata Vyadhi, and this is particularly very much effective in Vata disorders. So it is. I have seen. This is the second case which I am treating actually. Last week one case has come, and earlier also one case is there. So it gives good results in MND.
Absolutely, and I also remember there is one study, in fact,
Dose titration is very important.
right,
It
right.
varies according to Prakriti and everything. So that is there.
Right, and I also remember specifically because we also have like helped certain cases. Definitely, healing will be there. We can't say that it will be completely gone and it will be completely cured. But yes, absolutely, because we have done a few cases and we clearly remember there is one study from Italy, and they have done specifically research on MND, and they have seen drastic improvement. And we have also seen our cases. See, the specific issue which MND cases they have is the rigidity, the muscle spasm is there. So that has been relaxed and that has been relieved for several patients. And in our experience, also clinical, we have seen so that specific symptom and specific issue which they are having is very much healed by using regular CBD and like related products. So definitely it will help, and you can add on whatever the treatment, and certain Panchkarma therapies are also very helpful as far as MND cases are concerned. Along with Panchkarma, if you can add on this to the regime, it will definitely help them specifically in the rigidity, in the tightness of the muscles, in the muscle spasticity. It will definitely help them, and it has been researched and proven in that research study from Italy. Maybe after the session, I will try to figure out the link and I will share with all of you, because I clearly remember when I got my first case of MND, I did some research and I found that interesting study. And in Ayurveda, as Dr. Kalpana mentioned about the Vat Vyadhi, so definitely it is helpful. Jahan, quickly, yeah, you want to add something?
Yes, Dr. Vish. I think one interesting aspect of the San Rafael scientific study you're speaking about was with a product called Sativex. Now, Sativex is actually a full spectrum 1:1 THC CBD product, which was used successfully on MND. So, for example, companies like ours have similar pain management products 1:1 THC and CBD, which offers a pathway for such efficacious products even in India, basis similar formulations that have been used globally, as you mentioned, the Milan study. And in fact, that product formulation, Sativex, has also been used on diabetic neuropathy, multiple sclerosis, central neuropathy, and a few rheumatoid arthritis, and a few other disorders with great efficacy as well. So it's actually shown great validation, exactly as you said, for a good full 1:1 full spectrum THC to CBD formulation for MND as well.
Right, right. And quickly, let me just ask you, as we are doing the last session of 2020 and the next session will be in 2021. So, Bombay Hem Company, how you people are looking forward as far as the upcoming year is concerned? Maybe I think you have shared some aspects in the last session as well. So maybe you can just brief all the audience today as well. That what kind of new initiatives or new aspects you will be coming up with the this particular domain and this particular industry in terms of maybe your new launches, any additional like domain you want to explore. You're already there in food, clothes, and many other domains, or maybe like any as you say, as you mentioned about some training initiatives and knowledge aspects you people are working on. So just let us know, and maybe you can share whatever like Bombay Ham company is looking forward as far as 2021 is concerned.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Piyush, first of all, for such a great platform for all of us to use the year to start off sharing knowledge with the community of Ayurvedic doctors about Vijay and cannabis's use for different patient groups. At least for 2021, we are very positive and excited of different areas at Bohicum, especially starting from the product front. We have different topical as well as consumption based Vijaya leaf, as well as the Vijaya seed based products. The leaf ones, the topical ones being OTC and the consumption ones being RX, as well as Vijaya seed based products coming up. We've actually launched one of India's first Vijaya seed based immunity booster products recently, which combines ashwagandha, guduchi, amlaki, amla powder, gingerol, and curcumin into a capsule to give you your one-stop shop of immunity needs. And we're looking to carry such momentum forward in the year. Our goal is to target human health, pain, and anxiety and stress through all of our products upcoming. We are also very closely, as you correctly mentioned, we are in the final works of launching a doctor ambassador program and package for all the thousands of doctors in your network through Indian Vaidyas, as well as through our networks and other partners that we have. Our goal is to bring all of these proprietary Ayush formulations and products into the clinics and into the hands of different Ayush doctors, so they can experiment, they can do their studies, they can feel confident about such types of formulations in the market, and begin using it to help their different patients. We also are looking at a very exciting year of different clinical studies and clinical trials lined up for different products with different institutes, as well as partnerships with at least two national Ayurvedic institutes, which are both of which are almost completely finalized, and we've set in stone as well. And of course, working very closely with Indian Vaidyas and your platform, Dr. Piyush, to continue to have such L&D programs, as well as use it to build on other programs to have global as well as other experience knowledge of other Ayurvedic doctors in India prescribing and practicing using Vijaya as one of their different formulations, and be able to use 2021 to help a lot of Ayush doctors understand the whole journey of Vijaya and be confident by this time next year to begin having thousands of their patients being healed or cured with this magical herb and plant.
Absolutely. I think as a clinician, I completely agree with you. And the only aspect which I understand and we should focus on 2021, in fact, Indian Vadyas also, we are looking forward to start certain initiatives we will be announcing soon. Maybe we are just waiting for a couple of days, and around New Year, we will announce that. So we are looking forward very seriously to this domain, and specifically to the entire aspect of medical cannabis, practicing medical cannabis. There are right now certain aspects which should be correctively done, and one major aspect which we understand is about the training. In training, in the sense, see, although all the practitioners, clinicians are very well aware, today as we have got a quick refresher from Dr. Kalpana, and we have seen so much of aspects are already mentioned in Ayurveda, but still, I think we need to adapt ourselves. Adaptation is the word. We need to learn. There are so many international research studies which are available. In fact, people are not aware. So there are so many clinical trials and clinical studies already being done at various countries, and it is the same system and the same aspect which has been uh, you can say followed in all the pathies, including allopathic, that many drugs being developed globally, and then they are just getting the marketing approval and they are launching in India. So in that way, if you see full spectrum or broad spectrum exhaustively, so many studies have been done, so many studies are already going on, and I appreciate Bombay Hem Company that they are also looking forward to do certain clinical trials for their product as well. However, technically, if you see anyone who is having full spectrum or broad spectrum with a standard procedure, with a standard process, with a standardization of the raw material, they are backed with so many international studies which are already available. So the formula is technically the same, which many companies are using across the world. Still, for a specific product, Bombay Hem Company is looking forward for doing certain trials, which is appreciable, and definitely we should look forward for same. And so that one aspect, I think we need to understand, and we will be bringing up with to all the doctors. Second is training of certain aspects of dosages, as we have learned today also. So CBD oil tinctures and these oral sublingual absorptions are need to be understand, need to be in terms of the certain parameters which we need to understand. Third, I think the exposure in terms of the clinician fraternity as well as the society, because sometimes I have seen patients and their relatives needs to be educated. They are still confused, they are still sometimes having some negative perceptions, some wrong perceptions. And the final aspect is connecting a doctor to the company directly, which we believe that ultimately a manufacturing company is manufacturing the product and doctors are using that product. So let's start this coming new year on a note that let's spread the entire domain on a positive aspect. And we are again thankful to Dr. Kalpana for joining us today and enlightening us. It was one of the, I will say, one of the best session in terms of mentioning cannabis and relating that to the Ayurvedic context. And you have you have done an awesome compilation, ma'am. So thank you so much for your time and for your involvement in this session. And thank you, Jahan, again for supporting us. We would love to have many more sessions from you in future as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all the
Dr.
doctors
Piyush.
for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. Thanks.
Thank you